Okay. So we were working on the traps. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. So we were working on the springs earlier. They're kind of broken. Let's try to figure out why that is. Today is Friday. I'm gonna try to get the demo out today. Got a lot of work to do though. Okay, so what's going on here? We're in this weird state, and when we dash into this spring, for some reason we are dashing across, but this weird thing happens where we're kinda don't know what the hell's going on there. It seems like sometimes the direction it wants to put us in is correct. What I'm realizing though is that bounce direction. When we're at 2.70, we get vector 2 dot left, which is correct. Look at player 16 again. So don't remember what we were checking for. Bounce direction, vector 2 dot right is bounce direction is vector 2 dot right. Bounce direction is at 90 degrees, 270. All right, so this seems like it's correct, and yet it's not. Okay. Let me try this one more time. We're gonna let's see. Okay, wait, I guess we rewrote it so that okay. So one problem is that no matter what, This is our velocity. We are entering the bounce state. Enter bounce, not in spring. In spring. So not in spring. We enter the bounce. LF in spring. LF this. LF enter bounce. Enter bounce is true. It seems like enter bounce is never true here. So when are we setting enter bounce? Enter bounce is equal to true on eyeballs, on teleporters, and also on pressure plates. Activating pressure plate. So let's just make sure we're printing activate pressure plate. Activating pressure plate, enter bounce is set to true. And yet, once we enter the bounce, once we actually enter the bounce state, activating pressure plate, enter bounce is set to true. Once we actually enter the bounce state, we're not in the spring, and enter bounce is somehow false. Let me see. So let's go back into not in spring. This is on the entrance of the bounce state. I'm just gonna print it here for a quick second. Enter bounce. Var value. So I mean, this should be false, but why is it false? Let's see. Oh wait, enter bounce bool value is true. So, elephant spring, elef enter bounce. Not in spring. Here, let me get rid of this. I'm not sure why that's the case. Enter bounce is true. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I'm so dumb. Wow. Okay. So we sort of got it to work. There's some weird collisions here though. Not sure what that's about. I think it's because we're actually colliding with the ceiling there. Ooh, I can't play this song, unfortunately. Here, we'll play Undertale now. Oh my god, I can't believe it took me that long to figure out what the hell was going on there. Still, collisions are a little funky, but at least, let's see. I mean, that's that. Also, alright, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is check if the player is in the dash state when this happens. So on activate node, right here. Yeah, we're going to be checking if the player is in the neutral or dash state. I wonder if we should do something else when they're not in that state, but yeah, we'll figure that out afterwards. Okay, so yeah, now you have to dash into these springs for them to deactivate. Obviously there's no sounds yet. And let me see something. We also want to make sure hitboxes are enabled. So let's go back into our pressure plate string. I think right now I kind of just been commenting this out. because we were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Let me just make sure this is not disabled. It seems like, wait, what? Okay, it seems like once we deactivate it once, disabled false is enable static. Okay, yeah, this is true. Where do we set it to? Dot disabled is true. Set deferred disabled is false. Is there something else that we're doing? One-way collisions. Set deferred disabled is equal to false. Enable static collision void. Enable static. Is this the only one that we use? Yo, how's it going, Bad Cop? I feel like I used to do it here or something. Where else could we? Where could we put it? I guess we would put it at the end of the. At the end of the exit, I think. But here, let me try it here. At the end of the release, we could also do it. Right here. Enable static collision. It's good. What you been up to? What are you gonna do now that the jam is over? So I've just been working on this, we've been trying to polish this new mechanic where, like, basically originally it was supposed to be like a lever or a pressure plate that you just jump on and it deactivates them. But now it's going to be something that you dash into, and then you have like 2 seconds before this flame turns on. So we'll have like a crap ton of these flames, and I mean it works. It works like this now. So like we could just spam this everywhere. Whoop. Oh shit. Ramen 242. Thank you for the raid. I think I'll do a post-jam version for a couple of streams. I see it, yeah. Yeah, you gotta make the game actually fun or something, right? Oh, yo, 4th page. How's it going, man? Also, I'm just kidding, Bad Cop. Yeah, let me give you a shout out. What you been up to? I don't think I've seen you before, Ramen. Let me check out your profile just a second. Want to make the sim better first? I see. Like, what sort of things? What would make it better? Nice banner. Legend of Zelda? Tears? Oh, you've been playing Zelda. Nice. You definitely didn't have anything to do with it? Oh my god. Well, I'm definitely not thanking you, 4th page. I don't know, just more realistic AI, I see. Right. I mean, like, from the player's perspective, they wouldn't know any better, but I get wanting to put, like, more back end into it. Or, like, yeah, more, like, features into it, making them feel smarter and stuff. Maybe adding, like, bullets or, like, projectiles that go between a bunch of them, you know, to make it seem like they're actually having a battle. That would be pretty cool. Dang, I look so angry. You look like every gamer. How is Tears of the Kingdom? I've only played the freaking the first one, and I really enjoyed it. But then my sister asked me for my Switch, so you know, I had to be a good big brother and let her have it. highly recommend. Yeah, we'll see one of these days. I'm sure she'll get bored of it. But she lives in another state, so like I have to visit, do like a family visit, have to pretend like I'm there to see them, and then I snatch the Switch right before I leave. So thank you for the follow. Praise the bread. Yo, how's it going, Toasted? But yeah, I definitely want to play it one of these days. I've just been so, like, it's been so overwhelming working on my game. Like, I barely even play games with my friends nowadays. Also, I apologize if I just woke up, or like I took like an hour nap before this stream, so we're still trying to wake up. But here, I'll showcase a little bit of my game. But yeah, thank you again for the raid, Ramen. I'll have to check out your streams one of these days. Ooh, what did I do here? Okay, so here, I'll show you the mechanic I'm working on right now, and then I'll show you the rest of the game. Did you go to school for game development? I did not. I did go to school for programming, like computer science and all that jazz, but well, one I didn't finish. But yeah, I've always been into game dev, like even as a kid. But yeah, I will say I do have a decent amount of programming background. Just not really game, like I never went to school for game dev, but yeah, like honestly, you don't really need to go to school for game dev. Just watch a few YouTube channels, go on Reddit. That's it. Call yourself a game developer, and that's really all it takes. Obviously, and yeah, I mean, just hours and hours of unpaid work. If you can do that, then you'll be a great game dev. Never got into game development, but I am a programmer myself. I see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing in a nutshell. I know a lot of people who like. I'm really into like I'm decent at programming, but I really love like level design, game design, stuff like that. Like, you know, the actual quote unquote like science that goes into what like the player feels and stuff. So this is the new mechanic that I'm working on, where like basically each of these I guess you can call them pressure plates, but they're kind of like backwards pressure plates where they're springs. So you could jump on them, but you have to dash into them to turn off these flames, and then you can dash into more of them. There's basically, it's like a timed element. So the second this goes all the way back down, as you can see, you still can't, it's still a little buggy, but yeah, this mechanic is still in the works. But yeah, this is the idea. You know, you like dash into a spring, avoid, or like, you know, jump through a bunch of hoops, and then jump into another spring and get across. As you can tell, or you might be able to tell if you've ever played Celeste, this game takes a lot of inspirations from it. So I'll show you, if you have the time. I understand if you need to take a break, rest up, or maybe collect more tears of the kingdom. But yeah, I'll showcase a little bit more. So yeah, it's heavily inspired by Celeste. Oops, I didn't mean to spawn this room. It's a good thing that it crashed. Oh, it didn't crash, but yeah, let's go into like one of the later rooms. So yeah, like the movement is very similar to Celeste. You have like a dash, you have there's a wall climb mechanic, although it's not really something that's expected from the player. Like, oh, I mean right there, but yeah, it's mostly just boom. Oh my god. Here, I'll just blame my skill on me being tired. So yeah, it's pretty slow at the start, and then it just gets progressively harder with like new mechanics. Right now it's just a spring, and then control looks great. Thank you. That's the one thing that I take like a lot of pride in. Like just giving the player super responsive controls. Like there's a lot of like, you know, like margin of error, like things that I like try to account for from like the user, so that it feels, you know, very smooth. A lot of like, you know, have you ever heard of like coyote time. That's basically, honestly, making a good game. In terms of like making a game feel responsive and stuff, is just like different versions of coyote time, but in other inputs. So like, for example, jumping. Like let's say I spam the jump button. Technically, you're only allowed to jump when you hit the floor. But if you press it a little early, it'll still input. That way, if you press the jump button a little early, you'll still feel like, it'll still feel like it registered. And it does register. It's just that there's like I want to say I have like a 100 millisecond delay, or like a 100 millisecond timer that checks if you pressed it recently. And if you did, then we'll input it. Single game dev? Yeah, I do all the programming and the design myself. There's certain things that I'm not great at. Like, I'm actually, like, you might find the art to be pretty good. I'm actually not an artist. I usually, like, either commission or buy assets. And, what I do is I'll, like, edit them. Like, so I'm not great at pixel art, but I would say I'm pretty decent at editing pixel art. So, yeah, I'll buy, like, a bunch of assets online and be like, alright, let's try to make this a little bit unique so that people can't tell that these are edited assets. So, like, you can see here, like, some, we do recycle something. So, like, this was an asset that I recently bought, and it was I think the original one is, like, a 24 by 16 image or something like that. It's, like, a weird size, too. But most of the time, my game is an 8x8, or like we go in increments of 8x8. So like the next largest object is usually 16 by 16. So 24 is like a weird number for me. So we just had to, crop it down. Also change the color palette because we have specific colors that we use, and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find other examples. We have like a crap ton of stuff. So yeah, like, this original asset was like a black and white, like, eyeball that I found online, and we kind of made it look like a demon, or like a demon eyeball that, like, runs around. So stuff like that. It's, like, subtle. Like, again, I'm not an amazing artist, but I think I'm pretty good at, like, editing stuff to make it look unique. Yeah, I'm also really good at, like, scraping the internet for like free assets, or like, it's both a combination of free assets and like things that I buy, and like these were commissions that I made in the past, so I paid someone for this specifically, and we used a lot of those. These were free assets, these were paid assets, so yeah, I use whatever I could get my hands on. I'll use. Here, I'll show you guys. Yeah, we can keep playing a little bit. I actually came to the realization that this. So this is the first chapter of the game, and this mechanic is actually way too hard for the player. So we're actually gonna bump this up to like maybe the third or fourth chapter. I just came to this realization like last night, or like literally 2 hours ago. It's really fun. It's actually one of my more favorite mechanics. But yeah, people struggle with, there's a lot of timing because you have to like avoid the crosshair, you have to get to the eyeball in time, you have to wait for like the bounce. It's a lot for people. So yeah, we're gonna push it back a little bit. As like an indie dev, you're gonna like, you can make a good game. Oh, I forgot I made this room too. Usually that was the last room, but as an indie dev, a lot of people won't give you the time of day, and which is, it's fair enough. Like there's AAA, there's AA, like there's so many companies out there that are making good games. So as an indie dev, first impressions are super important. And if people are struggling with your game, even if you're trying to make like a difficult game, you want to make sure that it's accessible, at least to the point where like, you want to make someone feel good about playing your game, and then, over time you could make it super difficult. And this one in particular is also super difficult, so I'm going to push it back a bit. I'll show you one of the later, so I'm actually at a point where I don't have to worry about, like, if I've already made 4 chapters, and yeah, the first 3 chapters were chapters that are kind of just introducing the mechanics and just teaching the player how movement works, how gravity works, the dash distances, and while I don't like teach them directly, they kind of subconsciously learn how the mechanics work. So in the next chapter, I mean, this is actually my favorite chapter so far because it's the first time that I actually can challenge the player, or the first time I feel like I can actually challenge the player. And I'm making levels that will challenge myself. So here, I'll show you that. And if you guys have any questions about like level design or anything like that, like how did you make this work, what'd you do for that, feel free to ask. I'll definitely do that. Okay. So, Will _ thank you. I was actually looking up on YouTube for Memori when I first saw a snippet of it featured on some indie showcase video. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm actually curious, what indie showcase was it? There's like this YouTuber that showcased me a few times. I wonder if it's that video. But yeah, this is the newest mechanic. It's like the force dash. Yeah, I call it the force dash. Basically, you get one dash. This orb forces you to dash in any direction. Well, in the directions that you input it to. But then you also get a second dash afterwards. So it's like you can use it in combinations to like traverse. But you also don't have to use the second dash. So like you're able to do stuff like that. So it could either be like a really quick thing, or it could be something that's like meticulous, or you can like meticulously traverse the room. So it's pretty simple at the beginning, but then it'll get relatively more difficult. I'm actually trying to release this demo today, like for this chapter, so that people can test it out. I haven't had anyone playtest this room yet, or playtest this chapter. So yeah, I really like this chapter, and one thing I've noticed is, alright, it's still not polished, but like this is actually the best, like for all the art that I have in the game. I think this chapter is actually one of the best ones. So because of that, now I have to update the previous chapters, because it's like, again, first impressions are important, especially as an indie dev. So you can't just like make a really hard room with like crappy art and then expect everyone to 100% your game, or like be there to witness, the great things that you added later on. They need to see the good stuff first so they get hooked. So that's what we're doing now. Like, I really want to keep working on this chapter, but oh my god, let me not talk and play, because yeah, I don't know how you gaming streamers do it. I'm like, I can only do one thing at a time. Talking and gaming is like, it's like breathing and walking, No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Oh my god, Erend! How's it going, man? Thank you for the raid. We literally just got a raid before that. I was just showcasing my game. How you been, man? How's your game coming along? Actually, haven't been on your stream in a hot minute. Valkyrius. Thank you for the follow. I think I've seen your name sounds familiar. I'm good. Game is okay too. Awesome. Erend. I know your name is Aaron, but I think I say Erend. Thank you for all the follows, guys. Yeah, let me give you a shout out. Aaron is also a Godot game dev, and a talented one too. Shout out, Aaron. Oh yeah, this jam. Oh yeah. We only play Undertale here. If you're like yeah. Oh no, I'm a familiar. Yeah. Whose stream? It's intended for certain audiences. I guess this stream is too. Do you have a Steam page, by the way? But yeah, for anyone interested, I'll show you guys some of the gameplay. I was just showcasing the gameplay, but I want to do it again because I'm really proud of how it's going. You don't have a Steam page, but you have an itch and a Mastodon. I think I actually followed your Mastodon. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really use it though. Yeah, restart the demo, please. Yeah, alright, sounds good. No Steam page yet? Oh, you gotta get to that. That's like... I mean, do you do you, but I feel like that's the one thing we need to do right away. and your game is already like really good, like, or it's like at a point where like it looks good. I didn't even showcase it. I kind of just like opened up your page and then, oh. But it's been looking good. I've seen a lot of the progress lately. Like, I hop in from time to time and I'm like, oh, wow. Gotta make a trailer and then I'm doing it. Alright, sounds good. I'm gonna hold you to it. Alright, I guess I'd like to put a link of something, but hey guys, go follow go follow Aaron Dunn Itch. Alright. Okay, I was just showcasing Chapter 4, but I really like Chapter 4, but I think before we do that, we have to go back to Chapter 1 just to showcase like some of the things that I'm working on now, or like what the base game looks like. Because Chapter 4 is kind of a little crazy compared to what the player will first experience joining the game. I also want to show you guys the current mechanic that I'm working on, which is like, this is not what the chapter is going to look like, but it's the mechanic that's going to be in the second chapter. Whoops. I'll show you that in just a second. So basically how this mechanic works is there are these pressure plates. Originally they were like, you just had to stand on them and then they would turn off, but I like the idea of having to dash into them, and they act as a spring. Springs also reset your dash. Also, the hitbox is a little weird. We're still updating it, but yeah, you jump on the spring, you dash into it, and then it turns off these things, but then they turn back on. You'll see I don't die just yet. That's because we have to make some updates to that. But yeah, you dash into one of these springs, and all of these pressure plates are connected. So you dash into this, you have some time to get across, you can dash into that, turn this one off too, and then maybe you want to get to that one, and then get into that one, then get across. Put a commented out death. Actually, it's not that the death is commented out, it's that I disable the hitboxes, and so like the second you get here, it's technically there, but it doesn't count because it gets enabled right away. So if I jump and then I'll die there. We'll fix that. We'll fix that pretty soon. But at the moment, that's what it looks like. Still, there's so much to do, so we're probably gonna finish this mechanic today. That's probably what's gonna happen once I'm done showcasing the game. But this is gonna be a part of Chapter 2. I'm just testing it out in Chapter 1 because I don't know. I also updated the art recently, and I still like the way it looks. So here, I'll show you guys what Chapter 1 actually looks like. Oh wait, we also have some random shenanigans going on here too. Let me delete these dudes. Love the art, it's so cute. Thank you. So I gotta say, I'm not actually a good artist. I'm really good at finding assets online and editing them and then calling them my own. So yeah, I take I'll buy assets or I'll find assets, and I was kidding about calling them my own. I do credit like every asset that I use, and we do edit them a lot of the time, or I'll do commissions and stuff like that. So we update the color palette. We might update sometimes pixel art has this weird perspective to it, or they add some perspective, and we kind of my game is usually flat looking, there's no 3D elements to it. But yeah, so here I'll just start it, and you guys can see. I'll stop talking. Using your resources, yeah. So we spawned ourselves in the wrong room. I'm not good at art, but I'm good at editing art. I'm hoping one day I could have my own team or something, but it's difficult. I can only hold myself accountable, and the only way you can work with people is really if you could pay them, and I don't have the money to pay people. But maybe one day. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I recently added this. We're gonna update it some more, but I kind of like this, flying books and pieces of paper around, and then there's also flying furniture, just chilling. The game is called Memori, by the way. So it's it's a play on Memento Mori. So if you know, like, Memento Mori basically it's a Latin phrase, which basically means like remember that you're going to die. And might be a little dark for some people, but it's actually like there's a I guess some silver linings in it. It's kind of like I want to put my own little philosophy on life into the game, but not take it too seriously. At the end of the day, it's just another chill game. Well, it's not a chill game. It's a speedrunning type of game. So it's a precision platformer. It's rage-inducing. It's supposed to make you want to, smash your controller or keyboard, whatever hardware you're using. But yeah, this is the beginning of the game. You can use keyboard and mouse, or like, I find that I personally prefer using just keyboard, but it has a slight, pretty much a large learning curve, especially for speedrunning. Like, using arrow keys is not intuitive for most people, and arrow keys are like the best form of input. It's just like, you can get just super precise with your, with the directions that you want to go. But the mouse is not too bad. It's kind of like, it kind of mimics the controller. We basically round to the nearest direction. So like, if you're at like 45 degrees, or like, let's say you're at like 50 degrees, it'll round to 45, basically, in a nutshell. Looking forward to playing this out. Thank you. But yeah, it's still pretty simple at the moment. It gets significantly harder. Pacing is like my biggest issue, because like, basically I just need to make way more rooms that like subtly teach the player, hey, this is how the mechanic works, or like, hey, this is the max distance, this is what you can and can't do. Super Meat Boy portals. Oh really? I actually don't remember the portals from Super Meat Boy, but I didn't play it enough. But yeah, this is me playing it with, now I'm playing it with the keyboard, and you can like disable the settings, so I can go into the options so that we don't see the dash indicator. There's some small quality of life things that I have to update. This room is pretty old, so we'll have to update like the art and stuff. But yeah, and then this is like the final boss fight of this room. Again, this is like, there's an issue with pacing, because like, this is way too hard for people just getting into the game. So I'm probably gonna actually push this to like the 4th or 5th chapter. We'll see. At the moment, there aren't too many obstacles in the game. Like, there's a lot of like movement mechanics, but there aren't like, boss fights or like, traps. But that's what I'm trying to work on now. That's like the next update. Version like 0.5 or something is gonna have way more obstacles. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're working on those traps, you might have seen earlier. Here, okay, this is the hardest, I would say this is like the hardest room in the game, so let me actually try to be good. Shit, oh my god, alright. I'm just gonna skip this one. You know what, no, I can't show you guys I'm a quitter. They usually say if you're not able to beat your own game, it's kind of a sign that maybe your game is too hard. So I mean, this chapter isn't that hard. It's just I'm excited to show you guys the rest of the game. All right, so there it is. Looking forward to playing Added to Wishlist. Thank you. Can't beat my own game. Aw, dang. So yeah, okay, this is the new, this is the second chapter, and this is where, if you saw those traps that I was working on, this is where those traps are gonna be. This room doesn't have a lot of, like, the mechanic I'm also, like, not crazy about, so I was thinking, you know what, let's add this traps mechanic with the pressure plates and stuff, and that'll make, that'll make for a decent amount of variety for these chapters. Another thing is that, like, the mechanics in the previous rooms, in the previous chapters are gonna be added to these rooms, so, like, every new chapter is gonna stack mechanics. So like these green orbs are gonna be in the next room over, or in the next chapter over. I won't show you guys. Oh, I should have gone into free mode so I could actually just show you guys. Here, we could actually do that right now. Oh, our game crashed because attach node. We'll have to fix that. For now, let's just go into our level manager. I'll change this to chapter 2. I'll quickly show you guys some of the other mechanics, and then we'll get back to development. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll like, if you guys are wondering, you know, how did I make that? How'd you make this mechanic work? How'd you make that mechanic work? Yeah, just feel free to ask. I love talking about like how the mechanics worked, or like what was the, you know, the design choice, stuff like that. I've done a decent amount of research on like what makes, you know, platformers feel good, or, you know, what makes games feel good in general. Mostly for like, you know, physics-based games. I'm not too good with like Aaron's game, or like, you know, making puzzle types making puzzle types of games, but I would like to one day. It's just one step at a time. So yeah, this is the new mechanic. Also, I'm going to be updating this mechanic. It's a little too slow for my liking. It's kind of a combination of if you've played Celeste, there's like the I forgot what it's called, like the dream blocks or whatever they're called, and then it's also a combination of like the leaves from Celeste. It's like both of those put together. But I plan on adding a dash in this mechanic just so it's a little faster, because I think it's a little too slow. Sean in Retro, thank you. God damn, I'm getting so many raids today. Welcome, guys. How's it going, Sean? So yeah, this is the other mechanic, and I'll just show you guys the final room, because that's basically the whole room in a nutshell, or the whole chapter in a nutshell, is just traversing with that, and then combining those mechanics with, like, yeah, the previous rooms with, like, dashing and stuff. I don't think I've heard of Sean and Retro. Let me see. Give you a shout out there. What you been up to, Sean? Alright, so yeah, I'll save chapter 4 for Sean as well. Well, that's me. But yeah, what you been working on? Godot, C# game dev. I'm still newish. Oh, I see. Is there anything in particular that you're trying to get done with Godot?
Oh yeah, this Copilot, I mean, it's carrying me, honestly. There's times where, like, I just want to...
I still haven't switched to, I'm still on 3.5.1, because porting my game over, switching over to 4 was just so hectic for me, that, yeah. I would like to switch over, so what I plan on doing is, I plan on finishing this game, in like 6 months, and then after it's done, I'd like to do like a whole like YouTube tutorial series on like how the game was made, or I'm basically remaking the entire game, but in 4.0 or 4. Whatever comes out, like 4.2. Yeah, updating to 4.0 is a pain. Yeah, and there's still some bugs that I've experienced. I think 4.1 was pretty decent, but yeah, I'd rather just stick to 3.5 for now until they make a few more updates. I do game jams though. Like if I ever participate in a game jam, I'll probably stick to 4.1, or yeah, whatever is the newest version. Yeah. Thank you again for the raid, and I hope your Godot journey goes well. Here, I'll show you guys chapter 4 real quick. So this is like the hardest, again, this is like the hardest chapter of the game. But it's also the first time that I'm actually, quote-unquote, allowed to challenge the player, because like I've taught them everything they need to know in the previous chapters, and now I can actually make difficult rooms. Yeah, I'm just really excited for that, because now I'm not bound to like, oh, are they gonna complain? You know, if you get to chapter 4, you're probably gonna beat the rest of the game. So I'm gonna go full send with like, you know, I'm gonna punish the player, you know. But it's also, I will say this, even though it's one of the more harder rooms, it's also like less challenging for speedrunners, I would say, because there's like, it's actually more this chapter in particular is very linear. So how it works is it just forces you to dash in one direction or in any of the 8 directions. So input is required from the player. They have to basically dash into this orb, and if there's no input, it'll dash you into the opposite direction of where you came from. But if there is input, there's basically there's a 500 millisecond timer that checks. Yeah, there's a 500 millisecond timer, and if it runs out, you get forced into the opposite direction of where you came from. But if there's input from the player, we have we have that time, so it's like it feels like really quick. So yeah, speedrunners won't feel like the mechanic is slow or anything like that. So you could technically just dash into this and wait, but yeah, that's what happens. Usually I like to I think if you get, even non-speedrunners will probably want to just press the button right away. There will be an assisted mode in the game though for people who are like not familiar with precision platforming, or just maybe sometimes people just don't find the movement intuitive, which is, I mean, understandable. I can't play certain games either, so I don't expect everyone to be good at this game. But this is how the game is intended to play. Like, there's going to be a normal mode and then the assist mode. And the assist mode, every time you beat a level, it's just going to laugh at you and tell you... no, I'm just kidding. I'm completely fine. I'm actually excited to make the assist mode because, I would like for this game to be easily accessible to all types of gamers. There's actually someone who messaged me a while back who was like, they actually like that the mouse input is an option because, like, some people may not have, maybe you don't have the the stock amount of fingers or limbs that the typical human has. So they have to use maybe some extra tools, or maybe they can only use a mouse. And yeah, they said that this game actually works really well for them. That was really pretty motivating for me. Like, I want to make this game very accessible. But yeah, there's so many edge cases when it comes to making. I mean, yeah, there's so many edge cases in general, but especially with I don't know, physics-based games, or just games that require a lot of input. So much to do. But I love it. I love working on this every day. Actually doubled. So this isn't usually my typical streaming time. I usually stream 12 hours from now. But yeah, we've been doing this for the past week now, where I stream twice a day. One at 3 a.m. and then one at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I've been enjoying it. Get different crowds of people. But yeah, this room is kind of challenging, but it's a lot of fun. And if you guys are interested, the demo is on Steam. Yeah, I'll actually post yeah, you can play it on Steam. But I will be releasing another demo today with with this blue room, or this blue chapter. But it's only gonna be for a select few. Usually I only release it for people who, well, yeah, what I'm thinking to do is release this chapter for people who are typically on my streams. But yeah, I can give it to anyone really. There's one more room. I'll show you guys one last room, and then we're gonna get back into development. Can I ask when you started streaming? I started, when did I start streaming game dev on Twitch? Is that the question? Or when did I start streaming today? Yeah, you can play it now. Again, so if you want to play this chapter, what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make a channel reward for people. So if you want to get the most recent version of the game, you just have to be on my stream for a little while, and I won't make it expensive. It'll just be whatever. If you actually show interest in the game, I definitely don't have any problems just giving you access to it. I might even eventually I might even just release it on Steam update the Steam demo. So I don't know. Feedback is all feedback is appreciated. I'd much rather get feedback than to, I don't know, hide my game or something. Okay, so yeah, that was the last room. This is like the hardest room. I might have made it look easy, but that's because I've been playtesting, this game for hours on end. So when did I start streaming? If the question is like, when did I start streaming, like long term, like, or on Twitch, I think it's been like a year now, almost a year now. It's been almost a year since I started streaming on Twitch, but I started streaming actually when I first started developing this game, but it was on Reddit. Reddit had this it's called r/pan. It was like their mobile live streaming service. It was pretty weird. Yeah, it was pretty weird, and they only did it for like a year or like a year and a half. I was actually when I first did it, it was a lot of fun. Good channel growth for 1 year. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I will say I do have like some I am familiar with streaming. I just didn't do it on Twitch. You're on that grind set. Yeah. I guess I'm just really like. I would say I'm pretty passionate about game dev. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I mean, lately, since we're so close to like creating your own deadlines is like I feel like the best thing you can do for yourself if you really want to get stuff done. Because yeah, I told myself I'm gonna finish this in 6 months, and now I have no social life. Like I just work on this game, for like every single I'm doing 2 streams a day now, which is like I like it because like I just want I really want to get this game done. And I think maybe my social life is definitely taking a toll for it, but like yeah, when you like something, I would say it's okay to like, I don't know, make some sacrifices. I don't want to like also I'm not really a big fan of like the whole Sigma grind set or something like that. It's more so like I'm just passionate, there's nothing to it, if you like what you're doing, then do it. Don't feel like ashamed or anything like that. If you're really passionate about something, I feel like sometimes wanting to quote unquote follow your dreams is like the unsafe route, and then like maybe family members will be like, oh by the way, I'm very fortunate to have like supportive family, because like yeah, I know a lot of people like they would like look at this or like look at what I've been doing for the past 2 years or something and be like, well, what the hell are you doing with your life, like why don't you get a real job or something like that. I have worked in the past, but yeah, this is like when COVID happened, I like started doing game dev on the side. I was like, hey, wait, dude, I love this. I want to make this my job. I'm okay with like not making that much money. I do have money saved from when I did work, and I also live with family, so like I'm in a very fortunate position to be able to do this. Pouring your life force into breathe integrity into the work. Pouring your life force into it to breathe integrity into the work. Yes. Sorry. I haven't had much sleep. That's another thing that I lack nowadays. So sometimes I don't know how to read. Okay, let's actually try making one of these rooms. We're gonna test out one of these rooms. So this is room 126. So I'll showcase some, like, I'm gonna see if we could actually make a decent room with this mechanic. Room 126, we're gonna duplicate into 167. 128, or 168. Okay. And we're just gonna throw it into this room here. 168. Oh, the lighting is gonna be weird in this chapter. Let's actually go into chapter 2 to do all of the playtests. Also, I think someone told me to do a posture. Sometimes, I don't know if my posture is correct, like I try to make it good. I think someone redeemed it and I think I ignored them. Someone did a hydrate and a posture check. Okay, so I'll hydrate again for whoever you are. And the posture, I think my posture is pretty good right now. There we go, another posture check. Alright, alright, so let's go into chapter 3. This is actually this is called chapter, like the scene is chapter 3, but it's actually chapter 2. But don't tell anyone. Alright, what I'm gonna do, since we're gonna start working on this room, we're gonna move, this is like the exit node, so this is what takes you to the next chapter. We're going to 168. Ourselves in here. There's a little bit of a collision issue here, but that's okay. Well, actually, we won't even see the collisions here because this room disappears when we enter this one. Fun fact, but yeah, we'll probably want to edit that eventually. Alright, so let's go into this room. So yeah, this is how the mechanic works at the moment. I think I already showed it to you guys, but we're gonna try to make a cool room right now, or a cool set of mechanics. So it's chapter 3. And what's this? Okay. Wait, what? This is not the chapter we want. Oh. There we go. Alright, so this is the mechanic, and while it's... I don't think it's a really good... oh, what the hell? Oh, we must have not named it to 126. 168. Let's make sure it's renamed to that here as well. 168. Omar Siddiqui, thank you for the follow. So yeah, this is the mechanic. It's pretty boring in my opinion. Like, it's slow, and I mean, I think the thing is it's slow, but in combination with other mechanics, I think it could be pretty decent. But I feel like for the level design, what we're going to do is have way less of this and more of just exciting other quick-paced mechanics. So with that in mind, we're going to be introducing the new mechanic that we started working on, which is the platforms, or sorry, the pressure plates. The pressure plate springs, because we do have pressure plates as well, but they're not, yeah, they're kind of boring compared to these pressure plate springs. So they're basically the same exact thing as springs, but they have pressure plates on them. Whoa. So here, this is my first time trying to design a room with the pressure plates. So let's try to figure out what we can do here. We'll get rid of the spikes for now. Get rid of all of the spikes. And I think we're gonna want to make like a. Well, we can make a vertical room. Usually, I like to start out with like very small rooms and then expand. Another thing that you want to do with, I actually got this piece of advice from another game dev who said, like, usually what you want to do with precision platformers is only allow movement on like one axis. So like, let's say if you're making a precision platformer, either make the room super long horizontally or, you know, super long vertically. Don't do both. I mean, you can do both, but like it just messes up with like gameplay. So here, let's try to figure out what we want to do here. We can do, like, we can create a gap here. The player dashes into this spring. They dash into the spring, and then we have a bunch of our... We actually don't have it running on their traps. I'm going to go into our script right here. Let's see. There's a lot of sloppy legacy code here at the moment, but yeah, we'll be fixing it one of these days. Where do we put the? Let's see, for object in art right here. If object is in group fire, okay, so we could just actually just grab this and throw it in the traps. I'll just throw it right here. Object is in group fireboxes. Find pressure. Okay, there we go. That's all we wanted to do because I want to put the fire, like usually we have our fireboxes in an appropriate node, so it's gonna be right there. So let's grab the firebox. And all of these fireboxes, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but they're all connected. So like this one is connected to this, and this one is also connected to the same one. We might change this later on. Maybe we can make them color coded. So like we can make a base of this orange or something, and then these would all be orange. So like the orange pressure plate turns off the orange fireboxes. But we'll see. We're still in the early stages of this mechanic. And I think there's like one more bug in the mechanic right now. We'll make that update. All right, so let's see. Obviously, there needs to be more to this than just a bunch of fire orbs everywhere. But let's see what we can do. I'm gonna throw some of these over here. So what? We hit the spring. Let's get rid of the orbs for now. We hit the spring. Fire is everywhere. We have to get across to this one. So we hit the spring. Fire is everywhere. Maybe we'll bring this one down a bit, like this. So you hit this one, and we might actually want to bring this higher, but let's just try it out for now. I'm gonna do one more spring over here. Let's get rid of this. Put one spring here. Oh, I think we want to push these out by one tile. Actually, yeah, because it's kind of hard to see where it is unless they are pushed out. All right, something like that. And all of these will cover up. Okay. What's going on there? Okay. So yeah, we dash in, everything turns off. Let me see. We do want to get our full height here. We could probably just dash up and go here. For the typical speedrunner, they'll probably do that. We'll actually see. I don't even know if this is going to be a part of the design yet. Usually it takes like a few days for me to figure out what's the best design for these rooms. We can't climb these walls just yet, like the platforms. I'm not entirely sure if I want to. What the hell should I do here? Oh, wait. So we'll probably have to put like another spring. Yeah, we'll probably do something like boom, 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 and then maybe, I don't know, like maybe another spring right there. Another thing with like level design, personally, I find that I also want to say I'm not like a god tier level designer or anything like that. I'm getting much better compared to when I first started working on this game. But personally, I find quantity over quality is actually the solution to level design, because you kind of just need to test things out, keep like making rooms over and over until something just clicks. So yeah, right now we might be kind of crappy with designing these rooms, but eventually we'll probably figure out, you know, what works and what doesn't. But you don't really figure that out until you just make rooms. let's just try it. This will be our first room, but we still need to make some updates to the mechanic itself. So we might want to make it so that you can climb walls on these platforms here. That should be really pretty easy to implement. Another thing we might want to do here. Let's see. I'll write some notes down after this. All right. Boom. I can easily do that. All right. So one problem is that you can just. Oh wait, what? Oh, okay. So there's one bug. Dashing into this. So you can see I dash into this, and the hitbox disappears, and it doesn't enable again until the animation is complete. So what we might want to do is on the exit, when we exit the hitbox of this node, we enable it again. That's the first step, I think. What's another thing we want to do? Let's see. Also, the hitboxes of this node are a little weird, but I think we'll update it pretty soon. Oh, and also, I think we want to make sure that the z-index of our flame, we're probably going to update, like, we're probably actually going to make these particles. We want to make sure the z-index is higher, but yeah. For now, which one is it? Is it this one? Right here. What's fire 2? Fire 2 doesn't do anything. Yeah, fire right here we'll say is, let's just put it on like 5. Okay. And let's try to figure out what the hell we want to do with activating and deactivating the hitbox. Right now, the hitbox gets deactivated once the animation is complete, but connect pressure plate, where is it? Where's let's get rid of all these print statements too. I think we're done with it. Check for active pressure plates, connect, select random fire pressure, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right, not firebox. We want this to be on our pressure plate. Pressure plate spring. Okay. Where is it? So enable static collision is for our collision shape right there. I think what we're gonna do is we could do it on the exit of the collision. So we could do this on our player. We can actually go, this is on, I forgot what he called it. Not update collision queue, but remove, I think is what I use. Remove from queue. And I think right now we do all of the shenanigans, but I think what we're gonna do, we'll kind of do it right here. This is like, because we might be handling multiple objects in our game, I use this queue, like a collision queue, to like manage like, oh, maybe we want to collide with one thing before we collide with another. So I use this like an array, and it just iterates through it whenever. So let's do this. We'll say, I guess we could just match it. Eventually we might want to have a better approach to this, but because this is the first time we've ever used it, we'll do it right here. So we'll just say match node dot get type, and I'll just say enable static collision node dot enable static collision. What's the type? I forgot. Pressure? I think it's called pressure plate. Alright, it should just work. Enable static collision. Let's see. Truth. Boom, 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 boom. So it works like that, and then yeah, there we go. So now it just looks a little bit more polished. Yo, Titan, how's it going, man? Did I see? Oh no, I was looking at one of your. I saw your recent post on the client work that you're doing. A fire level? Yeah, we got a fire level now. We got some ghost. We're making some ghost shish kebab. Yeah, we were working on this, I think, like 24 hours ago. I think it's working pretty good now. The pressure plate looks pretty good. Basically, it's just it's kind of like a timed, it works almost exactly like a spring, except a little bit more sophisticated. Obviously, if you dash in, so you can't just bounce off of it, you have to dash into it. And then when you do dash into it, it disables any of the nodes that it's connected to. So all of these nodes can disable the fire. So yeah, boom, and then boom, boom. I'm still trying to figure out the designs with these, but I think it has some potential. We'll have to see. I might even think about, like, you know, maybe if you deactivate this one and then dash into this one, it activates it again. So, like, you know, if you time it well enough, you can, like, do some crazy like, you know, turning off and turning on of. But yeah, we'll see. It's still, yeah, this is the first time it's actually looks decent, so we'll test out some new rooms, and if it looks good, we'll keep it. So what is next? Is there anything else we need to polish with this mechanic? Do we want to add the so do I want to let the player climb on this mechanic? So, like, right now you see, like, the only thing you can do is dash, or I think you can, like, yeah, you could technically stand on it. I don't know if we want to allow that, but maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine, actually. But if we do let the player stand on it, I think we might as well also let them climb it. So let's actually just test that out. So I think, let's see where collisions are with our player. Wait, let me see something. Our auto tile, I want to see what collisions we do there. We do 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, 1, 3, and 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or 1. Well, let's just try it. We'll just throw all of these on there. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that when we do teleport, well, when we do dash into this, I usually reset the player's position on the center, and if this node isn't removed, it's gonna screw us up. It's possible that the player gets stuck into this node, so I have to just make sure that doesn't happen. I think that's the worst that can happen. And it's also pretty game breaking if that does happen. But it seems like it's fun. Let's see. Can we climb? Oh, goddamn. I think I need to increase the timer too. It's like, shit. Let me just bring this node. Keep dying to the fire. I can't even test out if it works or not. But yeah, I saw you were working on your that client work, and it's looking pretty good too. To like what I don't know if you can actually, you're allowed to say. I'm curious. To like what extent do they ask you, like how much do they ask from you in terms of like working on the project? I know it's like I'm talking about the VR project that I saw on your stream, or not on your stream, the one that you posted. So yeah, we could just climb it. I wonder. The hitbox here is fine, but the hitbox here looks kind of odd. Like climbing on like 1 pixel to the left, or like a little too much. I mean, we can maybe push it up. Setting up all the enemies, not the animations, but the AI effects, etc. I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. So should we push this? If I push it 1, it's gonna float. Maybe I'm just not gonna do anything. It's barely noticeable. Also, climbing on this mechanic is. Oh, there might be something weird with this though. Let's see. Yeah, it's a fun project. Really cool trying it in VR too. So, do you have a VR setup? When I saw you playing, it seemed like maybe you were playing on mouse, but I was actually curious about that. So when it comes to climbing, oh yeah, okay, that's what happens. I wonder if I should implement something like that, where like, see, when it drops down, it's not like we're locked into. We never had. I think I remember trying to work on this, but yeah, basically we would have to make sure that the player's position like locks into it. And the thing is, with Godot, there is like snap. Like, you can use like snap on the floor, but I don't think there's a snap. Maybe you can have snap on Vector 2, like Vector 2.right snaps, but I'm not sure. Either way, like I've had issues with Godot's physics and like 2 objects colliding in a pixel perfect manner. I mean, this was in like maybe 3.3 or something, so maybe it's different now. But yeah, we tried it earlier, and like just getting pixel perfect collisions was always a problem, unfortunately. Maybe we can figure it out. But I'm not sure. Honestly, this is not too bad though. Like, I honestly don't expect people to be climbing these too often. And if anything, we might even remove it just because of that issue of it moving, like, I don't know. Actually, we could try it out, but it's a low priority mechanic. I'd rather just remove, like, if it's too time consuming, I'd rather just remove the ability to climb. So, movement update. Okay, let's do this. Ability to climb a moving object. We'll see. I'd like for it to be a mechanic in the game. It's just that there were so many edge cases, and like sometimes the physics was wrong, that I just decided, yeah. The video was recorded with just recorded in an Unreal, but I have a Quest 2 for testing. I see. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you did game dev contract work too. I always thought you did. I know you mentioned it the other day, but yeah, I always thought you did like some other. I thought you did like web dev or something for some reason, or maybe you do. And you also do Unreal stuff. Dart traps, fire traps. So the fire traps are pretty good. There are some edge cases that we haven't solved for, but like I also don't care too much. Chapter 4 base rooms for playtests. I think we're good with the Chapter 4 rooms, but I might make some more today, right before we release the game. I think what we should do is just make some quick rooms for Chapter 2. That way, at least we can have people playtest it, and then by the next stream, we'll finish polishing Chapter 4 just a bit, and then and then release the next demo. Started picking up game dev projects around September last year. I'm trying to focus a little bit more on that now. I see. Yeah, I'd love to do some like contract work. I think it's just Godot is still in the very early stages. There aren't too many like established like companies and stuff that use Godot. But hopefully we make that we make that change. Hopefully I can hire some programmers one of these days. Okay. Dash out of Portal. Oh, I think we should work on this too. I think we're gonna just make this a complete programming stream of just us fixing up like small things, so that when we do release this demo, we can like get feedback on it like right away. So yeah, dashing out a portal would be a really good update. So currently, people were oh, I also might make our portals color coded. We'll see about that. I might just do it. I posted my game on Reddit a few times, and people always tell me, "Hey, your portals need to be color coded." And I might break. For the longest time, I was like, "No, I know what's best for my game. You don't." But you know, enough people say it, and you know what? Maybe they're right. Okay. So let's test it out. Where are our portals? Right here. Okay. So dashing out, I don't know what we need to do. Let's see. I forgot what the state is of the player when they're in the portal state. So let's just run it. See what happens. Oh, we're still in chapter 2. Okay, so we dash in, and you can see there's like this huge delay. It's like 500 milliseconds worth of waiting, which is fine, because like in other rooms maybe it might be hard to see where you have to come out from. Like right now it's just pretty basic, and they do change colors. Like I feel like it is a good enough indicator of where to come out from. But yeah, also for speedrunners, this time is like, it's kind of a waste of time for people. Yeah, having to wait, 500 milliseconds, it's a long time, especially if there's multiple portals. Like this is 1 second right here, and maybe we want to reduce that at least by a little bit. So what we're gonna do is, I ran that so that we can see what state we're in, because I don't know if we're in a neutral state or there's also a teleport state that I have in the game. So let me see. Move, dash. Oop, I didn't read it. Teleport to. We're in the teleport to state, and then we enter the dash state. Okay, so in the teleport to state, we're just gonna say we're gonna check for input, and yeah, that's probably all that needs to be done. So let's go to our state logic. States dot teleport. _2. If exit teleport state, we enter the dash state, and then health. I'm gonna return here. But what we can also do is just say if, and we'll actually do this before this, or we can just do it right here. We'll say if dash input, if our input controller dot dash input is equal to, and we actually might want to check for dash input actuation, because dash input could, well, let's actually see. If this is equal to true and exit portal state, or exit portal state. Yo, how's it going, Half Moon? Good morning. Was it 9:42? You're up a little earlier today. Huh. Or a little early? I don't know. Alright, so yeah, here it is. You can basically, oh my god, that's kind of fast. Let's see. It's like spamming. Definitely considering trialing some afternoon streams for client projects could be fun. Yeah, hell yeah, do it. Shadow Crushers. I think my posture is pretty good. Here, I'll fix it. Here. I know I'd move. So right now I'm sitting up, but I know if I move my head up, I'm just gonna start slouching like 5 minutes in. So I'll keep it lower. Yeah, definitely. You're like 11. You're 11 hours ahead of me, right? It's 3:43 a.m. right now for me. What time is it for you? Almost 4 a.m. for me. Friday afternoon for you. Okay, so I wonder, this is a little too fast. Like, you see how, like, we just... Oh, but you know what we can do? In the neutral state, maybe we'll disable the player's ability to dash out until, I don't know, maybe like a few milliseconds later. Maybe that's a good approach. Can dash from neutral. Maybe that's another variable that we need to add. Just to, and you know, this could actually help with the other mechanic in our game. I'm trying to think, what did we do for the force dash? So this is from, let's see. Force dash. Wait, actually, wait, let me just do a couple more tests. God damn, it's so hot. Wait, what? Seems like, So yeah, the issue is that there's an early input. So if you basically press dash... Let me see something. You kind of have to press it really... maybe it's fine, actually. Let me try it with a controller. Maybe I'm just not used to keyboard input. So I have to go shopping. I'll be back in around 1 hour. All right, no worries. I'll see you Half Moon. I need to find my micro USB. Okay, we found it. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Alright, dash, boom. So you have to, like... Actually, you know what? Maybe we won't do anything. I think the only... Wait, let me make sure of this. So, I think there is one issue, though, and that's... You don't get the full dash. Wait, it's so hard to tell. So this is the full distance. That's the full distance, but if we spam the dash, that happens. And that looks, I think that looks weird, right? So how do we discourage this behavior? Because I like the idea of dashing early, but maybe instead of entering the dash state, think about this. Maybe instead of entering, let me see something. Instead of actually entering the dash state from the portal state, what we could do is just where is it? Oh, you know what? There actually might be another issue. There might be something else that's technically game breaking with dashing out, and that's that our timer runs out, and maybe we're not canceling whatever variables happen from exiting. Let me see. So we change the state to, so if exit portal state set to true. Portal. What? Exit. Oh, is it called exit teleport state? Is that what we called it? Exit teleport state. Yeah, it's called exit teleport state. When do we set it to true? On the exit of... on the entrance of the state, we say it's equal... What? What the frick? This is on the exit, right? Or the entrance. I already forgot. False. Oh, right. We set it to true. Okay. So, all we do on this duration is just set ourselves to visible. So technically we're invisible when we dash out. But maybe we set ourselves to visible. We can just do this at the exit of the teleport state instead of doing it here. But the other issue, again, is that there's dash input register. We could check for dash. Here, let me try this. I don't know if this will actually make a difference. So let me see. Let me see what happens on our force dash, because we might have some cool edge cases. Forced dash on our neutral state. I want to see. State logic. Let's just see. States dot dash, or sorry, states dot neutral. For if enter forced dash. If not neutral state, then we enter the. Oh wait, no, this is not it. If can dash is on floor, neutral state timer node dot time left is less than 0.1. So we have this weird timer that we do. If that timer is less than 0.1, then we're allowed to dash out. And there's dash input. Neutral state timer node is less than 0.1. So there's. All right. So I guess that's what we'll do. We'll grab our neutral state timer node and we'll do this same exact thing. I wonder if this is like the best approach. I mean, it seems like it was fine for. Yeah, it seems like it was fine for our force dash, but we'll have to see. So let's go into portal here and we'll just say if dash input is equal to true. Oh wait, no, this is in the neutral state. So we need to check if our previous state was the dash state in this neutral state. Gonna head to the gym now? All right, peace. See ya. Alright, this is in the neutral state. So, if can dash or enter force dash, if teleport player, end neutral state timer, if not force dash, change dash. Wait a second. Oh, this is for is on floor. This is something completely different. Wait, if can dash or is on floor and neutral state timer node. And okay, so this is something completely different. If enter force dash, if not neutral state, we do dash. That's what we've been doing. So I guess we're in the neutral state. If can dash. This is a difficult one. So, let's look at this again. Tab back out. Tab back to the left. Input controller dot dash input. I wonder, is this running? If can dash and dash input, yeah, it is. Okay, so actually, let's get rid of this because we're gonna have to do it here. If not force dash. Dude, I'm trying to think. Like, there's so many edge cases here that I haven't thought of. If not forced dash. What do we do for the force dash? What the hell? Oh, I guess, okay, if entered force dash. Okay, so that's what we do here. What we're going to want to do here is, I guess we should have an if statement checking for what our previous state was. So, or like eventually we want to put each of these into their own nodes, just so everything is cleaner. But right now, let's just do this. Match, or actually we'll just do this. If previous state is equal to states. This is on the neutral state, so previous state is equal to states.portal2. I'm gonna pass for now. Else. Change state. Okay. And we'll return this, but we're gonna wanna do some crazy stuff right here. We're gonna want to check first if our maybe we want to do this whole neutral state timer thing, where if the time left is like less than 0.1, maybe that's a good amount of time. Anything above basically we have this this timer node on our input, activate input timer. That's 0.05, so 50 milliseconds. You have a 50 millisecond window of like when you compress it, and maybe we'll want to do that here. So if our neutral state timer node is less than 0.1 seconds and there's dash input, then we'll let the player dash. So let's try that. Maybe this is the solution. So if our neutral state timer node time left is less than 0.1, so if it's less than 100 milliseconds, if less than 0.1, and if dash input. Let me draw this all. Okay. Should just work like this. Let's see. There we go. I think that fixed it. Let me see. I mean, it seems like it worked. So I mean, we do still, like, you could still technically spam it. Like that happens. You see something. Curious what's printing. Teleport, then dash, and then dash again. So wait. What? We're entering the dash state. Oh, it seems like we're entering the dash state from the dash state, which is oh no. Let's go back into here. Yeah, we can't allow this. Force dash direction. If input and force dash. Do we really allow this to happen? Forced dash is equal to false. Wonder what is this from? If input and can dash and forced dash direction. Yeah, why would I ever want this to be allowed? And forced dash direction is equal to 0. We're allowing players to dash out. I don't think I am actually. I feel like can dash is probably set to false here, with the with our force dash. I think. Because I don't see why I would want to allow people to dash. I don't think I allow people to dash with the dash. Or like basically change directions. What I will do for now, I'm just gonna try this. I want to make sure this doesn't work. If previous state is equal to states.dash, let's say is not equal to states.dash, then we'll do this. Oh, not states.dash, states.portal. Okay. So yeah, you should go to dash neutral dash, which is what it did, but I didn't spam it. Dash neutral dash. Okay, yeah, that's better. So now there's more of a delay, which is good. And that way you're not like, if you for whatever reason you want to spam the input, it doesn't like feel like you got cheated. It's supposed to be like, oh, I spammed the button and I still get to where I want to go. You know, this even though there's actually a delayed response, it feels way more responsive this way. I'm so used to not pressing dash though, so it's gonna take some getting used to. I wonder if it's gonna screw people. Let me try this out with the. I feel like it might be easier with the controller. Dude, I actually like it. I like it. I don't know why I didn't implement it sooner. And it also makes, like, some strats are not as viable anymore. So it might, like, originally what people used to do is they would actually, so I know Hellraiser, he's one of the, like, top speedrunners of this game. He would actually bounce off the portal on the right. There's basically, if you don't dash into the portal, you'll bounce off of it instead. Maybe I'll try to showcase that right now. Might be difficult though, because there's spikes everywhere. You know, let's just restart. You see it here. Yeah, you bounce off if you don't dash into it. So yeah, he would bounce off of it to basically you just cut time. It's a little risky, but it gets you to where you need to be faster. So it actually might be. Oh, wait, I'm trying to think. This is also another strat. I just realized you can. You know, because when you dash out, you dash into a specific direction. Let me see one more thing. Can't tell. I feel like. I wonder if our neutral state does not work as intended. Maybe I'm tripping though. I'm tripping, bro. All right. Let me actually see that because I can't tell. 200 like sometimes my my reaction times are slow, especially at night, and like sometimes I wonder, hey, wait, does this do what I want it to do? Also, thank you for the follow. So we're gonna check our neutral state duration. Neutral state duration. Let me just set that value. Oh, I said it's a 0.1. Interesting. I completely forgot that. You know what that means? That means that less than 0.1, that means that, like, there's actually no point for me checking for that. When we checked for if time is less than 0.1, there's literally no point. Because the base duration is already 0.1 seconds. So I guess it just works without that timer, which is, I mean, that's a good thing. But I do want to, let's try, like, I'm just going to try 1 second. Specifically for when we exit the portal. So I'm not sure. Let's see. And this actually would help us with figuring out if we can. Yeah, we'll test this out real quick. Whoop. See how we're able to dash right away? Actually, something is technically. There's technically an unintended feature. But I actually do like the movement. We have like I guess a redundant or like yeah, something in our code, something in our state logic right here. Something is like, yeah, just redundant. Like there's no point of it at all. I mean, yeah, we can fix it. I'll try to figure out what it is right now. But yeah, we'll have to see. Where's our neutral state duration? Yeah, we're gonna leave our timer at 0.1. So, originally, I think the timer, like the duration of this was 2 milliseconds. Sorry, 200 milliseconds. Now it's 100 milliseconds, I guess. I thought. You know what we might do for like easier? I'm thinking maybe in other versions of the game, instead of lowering speed, like the speed, like the duration of like neutral states and stuff like that, or like lowering the delta time or like the frame rate and stuff, what we'll do is we'll actually just manipulate like the neutral state and then have all of our other variables get manipulated that way. That might be a better approach. We'll see. But let's keep going. Let's look at that state logic again from the neutral state because yeah, something's wrong there. Let me unplug my controller. Takes too much space on my desk. Okay, state logic. Shovi, by the way, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Okay, so that was from the neutral state. So let's go to the neutral state. Yo, and how's it going, Mr. Click? What you working on? We're currently working on letting the player dash out from the portal, and actually it's pretty good right now. I'm just taking care of some edge cases. I want to feel like, yeah, this right here, we don't need this. The neutral state timer left is less than 0.1. That was the thing that we didn't need. And I wonder if there's anything else we need to fix. We can... Yeah, this is what it looks like now. You can dash out as fast as you want. Oh, is this... Let me see something. This is a little... I wonder if this is a little too fast. I feel like maybe we want to do the same exact thing that we did with the neutral state, where there is a slight timer. Because like spamming through this is kind of... It's a little too fast. Doesn't feel right. Is there a rule tile in Godot? I'm actually working on something similar, but using rule tiles to transition between rooms. What are rule tiles? Oh, like a set of rules for transitioning, like right here, like these edge pieces. The tiles you're using are connected. I had to make a custom script for that. So auto tiles, so yeah, these look like 16 by 16 textures, but they're actually 8 by 8 textures. And I had to make, custom script. It's actually not perfect yet, but I plan on making something that allows me to, basically make a better set of rules for making 16 by 16 textures in your 8 by 8 game. But yeah, basically in a nutshell, there is like rules like auto tiling, so like, yeah, there is an auto tile, like basic auto tiling. Here, I'll show you. Maybe I'll go here. So let's say we have this room. Pretend this is a room. I mean, this is what you can do basically. Like you can see how it looks pretty seamless, but then these are all 8 by 8 textures. What I do is I run a script, and in the click of a button, oh, something is broken here. Something is deeply broken. What is this? 17? Let me see. Interesting. I must have broken it recently. Because, wait, let's see. Invalid type set cell v can't convert argument to, what is this? Line 310. Transition tilemap dot set cell v of cell get transition cell of cell. Invalid set cell v in base tilemap cannot convert argument 2 from nil. Get transition cell. Get transition cell index. Five, 17, 19. Nil. Oh wait, this is not the right one. Get transition cell index. Oh yeah, we're not returning 0 in case nothing happens, but what the hell's happening here? Or it should be -1, but yeah, it's weird. Let me see this again. We're using 19 and our script has 19 accounted for, so that should be 2. Let's see. Oh, it works. What? Let's try this again. Okay, it works. Let's try this room again. Huh, okay. It seems to work now. That was very strange. I mean, we did return 0 here, but input cell. See something. Are we grabbing the right one? Yeah, we are grabbing the right transition cell. So yeah, what I was getting at is that basically we add, you can see here, I have something called transition tilemap, and this just adds an extra layer of complexity to the tilemap. Like right now, it would usually just look like that, and then boom. And then we also have like stuff like this, so like we can add extra types of, they're called the vines tilemap. Right now I've only have it handled for the library, but yeah, eventually like we'll want, not banners, but like vines. It's literally called the vines tilemap because I want it to be vines, but yeah. That's how I do it. So Godot does have some auto tiling to it, but this is the, honestly, this is the extent of it. That's actually the one thing. The Godot 4 is a little bit better with it, but it's still not perfect. But what is nice is that you can still do a lot of the programming yourself, or like if you want a certain aesthetic to your game, you can definitely just code it in. I mean, you could probably do that with any engine, but I guess I'm more familiar with Godot. You can code the tile set. Yeah, Sekros, you mentioned that before. I don't know how to do that. I just did it via tool script. Or like via my own tool script, like my own shenanigans. This never runs in the game anyway, so like I was fine with the way it is. We actually might do some editing of it pretty soon. You can create your own auto tile rules by adding a tool script to the tile set. To the tile set. Interesting. Oh. To the right. To the tile set. Right. Sometimes the words, they get lost. So yeah, this is a tile map, and then a tile set is the little like this resource right here, which is where you put like all this stuff in. I do everything via the tile map. But yeah. Interesting. Good to know. Maybe one day we'll make. I do want to make like a sophisticated like auto. I know you made one actually. But yeah, I want to make a better one. I want to finally one-up Sekros one of these days. I'm just kidding. How's it going, Sekros? Good morning. Ha ha ha. Keep trying, buddy. Oh my, I was just kidding. You have to. You didn't have to say that. All right. So yeah, we have. So now we could dash out, and you could spam it. And wait, did we fix? No, we didn't. Okay. So spamming out is still a problem. What we did in the neutral state is basically what we're gonna do in the. Trying to think. Maybe it looks kind of cool, but the thing is, it doesn't feel as good on the controller. I would like for it to feel the same way it feels with the force dash, where there is that like slight delay. Of the new, well, literally only 0.1 seconds. So basically, I guess if our timer is less than 0.1, yeah, just give it a 0.1 delay. Think that by publishing your game, you're way ahead. Yeah, I mean, hopefully one of these days it'll get published. Either way, yeah, it was just a joke. I think we're all on our own journeys. Whatever you do is good enough for me, or whatever you do should be good enough for yourself. Is what I meant to say. If you're interested, this is a relevant documentation to define your own auto tile rules. Ooh, 3.6. Okay, I see. Auto tile get icon coordinate. Auto tile get bitmask. Turns bitmask of subtile. Which one is it exactly? Is tile bound? We'll probably just have to look at all of these. Returns the bitmask of the tile. So I guess you would have to create some like crazy, or not crazy. I actually don't know. What are these bitmasks here? Maybe you know the answer to this. Like the blue bitmask, or like the blue thing that you can do. Like when you like control right click or something like that. Should be forward atlas subtile select. Is that what that is? The blue tiles? The blue this thing? Is this for like more sophisticated rules? I never knew what this was. I never bothered to. Sorry, this is the method that regulates. Yeah, I never knew what this was for, but I assume it's for something. Blue is a wild card. Oh. So like what? It randomly selects. I mean, it's literally now. Yeah. Thank you for that. I honestly, I don't know when I'm actually going to look up how to do this. But it's actually good that that you can make your own rules, because the way I'm doing it right now with my auto tile is like I run, we create the tile, then I create like I run the script, and then we add I create an entirely new tile map on top of the current one. Same with like the border tile map. So it would be nice to actually just do this with the tile set, because it's all the same tile map. It's just this is the way I did it, and I mean it works, but it's like could be better. But it's also like way down in the priority list. Like, if it works, it works. Yeah. Red usually means terrain. Blue means terrain or not terrain. Okay. Will this game support you? Like financially? Probably not, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. Like, who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. I don't anticipate for it to be. I don't anticipate for it to make me. I would like for it to. The end goal is for this to support me financially, and I live a very minimalistic lifestyle. So like honestly, minimum wage would be good enough for me. But even that, I think, is like super ambitious. So, whatever happens. But if it does turn out that it maybe this is just a precursor. Like I am putting a lot of work into this game, but maybe it won't be until the next game that I release that I'm actually finally financially that I can finally like play do game dev and be, you know, what am I trying to say? Financially like self-sufficient from game dev. And yeah, maybe this game is what it need. Like maybe this is the precursor. Like people notice this game, and then they're like, oh, they made this game, and then here's your next game that comes out, and then yeah, full-time game dev. Yeah, exactly. I will say, it's a lot of work. I've been doing this. Yeah, considering that I've been doing this for 2 years now for free, you know, without making or barely making any money. If I made minimum wage, I would be the happiest. You know, I'd be the happiest person in the world. Believe me. But yeah, I like the journey. It's you know, it's not much, but it's honest work. Also, how's it going, Hassan party? Yeah, I won't ban you today. I'm sorry for last time. For those of you who don't know, I accidentally Hassan joined the stream. He was like, they were just joining. They were very friendly, and I accidentally just misclicked and banned them after the first thing they said. It was completely, you know, uncalled for. I did apologize though. Yeah, I've not made a single penny for my game. Yeah, it's difficult. I have gotten donations, I will say, but like, yeah, I have made I've gotten donations, and like people have paid me, but it's like at the end of the day, it's not enough to like consider it for self sufficiency. So for me, it's like it's a nice treat, but it's like, oh, it just means, you know, maybe I'll buy more maybe I'll buy more assets for the game. So yeah, any money that I get currently is just gonna go straight back into the game. I've definitely spent more money on this game than I've received so far, but I mean, that's because the game hasn't been released. So that's expected. Okay, we still didn't fix what we're doing here. We want to make sure that you can't dash out immediately from the portal state. So let's fix that. Let's go into portal 2. States the portal. Whoops. State logic. Portal. Or sorry. What do we call it? Teleport. Teleport to NPC hate the viewers. Confirmed. No, that's not true. I love you guys. I was just thinking the other day, like, damn, I feel like I got lucky with like the type of viewers that watch my stream. I think people who are interested in game dev are just cool people in general. But yeah, I feel like I got lucky with the people that watch my stream. Like everyone's just so chill, like super supportive, like enjoy having like, I don't want to say like, it's not like it. Yeah, I would say intellectual conversations. Everyone's like an adult when we like bring certain things up. Like it's pretty cool. You feel special. You should feel special. You are special. Worked on an online server in Python for 10 hours yesterday, and it still does not work. Oof, dang. That's crazy. So, where is it? So if our previous state does not equal, is input, okay, so, wait, oh, this is the wrong piece of code that we want. We want this one right here. So if dash input or exit teleport, we do the dash input, but what we want to do is also check how long is left in our portal state. I think 0.1 seconds is basically our window of opportunity, I would say. So here, actually, I think we're going to cut this out. I'm gonna try it here. I'm just gonna try it like this, What's our timer? I don't even know what the hell this timer is. Let's see, neutral. Whenever we set exit teleport state, I don't know what that is. Here, let's see. Let's just finish this right here. Exit teleport state. Let's see what that timer is called. Teleport duration timer. Okay. So end our exit teleportation timer. I don't think we have a reference to this yet. Exit teleport. Come on. After teleporter timer, I believe is probably what it's called. Let me see. Damn, I should have probably checked what the title was. After teleporter timer. What's this? After teleporter time. No, it's not this one. Whoops. Let's see. Did not say stop with the compliments. Jack, you are very dedicated to your health regimen. You know, you jog every day or almost every day, and that's truly impressive. You're fantastic game dev. You're making a very challenging game. What else? You watch one of the best streams in the world on the daily. Honestly, I think that's probably the best one right there. I have 1001 errors to go. Nice. Good luck, man. Can I watch the whole stream? No worries, man. If you gotta work, go work. What the hell is this? Swing. Oh, we have to fix whatever the hell this is. We'll fix that next. What the hell was that? What is the timer that we used though? Let me see. Oh, teleport duration timer? I think is the name. Teleport portal timer? Let's see. On teleport duration timer timeout. I think that's the node, but let me just make sure. What was the exit portal state? On teleport duration timer. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because it's 4 a.m. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. here too. But I'm a little crazy. Well, I'm gonna cry because that came from the heart. Yeah. A slight, like narcissistic compliment for you. For me, it's 11:30 a.m. Alright, that's good to know. You're 7 hours ahead of me. So what we can do here is say time left is less than 0.1, or is less than or equal to our neutral state duration. Technically, we can say is less than or equal to our neutral state duration. Let's see if this just works. I hope it does. You live in the future. It started to rain. What the hell? Seems like this didn't work at all. If input controller dot dash input is equal to true and our teleport duration timer dot time left is less than or equal to our neutral state duration. Come on. Teleport duration timer. This should be working. I assume this is exit teleport state. Let's do this once again. Exit teleports. Oh my god, it's raining crazy. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me from the future that it was gonna rain like this? Teleport duration timer, that timeout. I guess we'll print it out because I could have sworn this would have worked. Time left. Oh, goddamn. That's why. Because our timer, I messed up here. Not time left. We want to say is equal or greater to. I'm trying to think. What do I want to set it to? Basically, what our duration is, whatever that duration is, plus this is less than that, basically. Or we'll just write it. I can't think right now. We set it to 1 second, so basically, 1 minus our neutral state duration. Unless we might manipulate this value here. Let me see. Dot start, teleport duration node, dot time left. Okay, yeah, by default we set it to 1. So 1, if the time left is less than 1 minus our neutral state duration, or less than or equal to, then we can dash out faster. Check it. There we go. And so now if we spam it, so a little, if you spam it, some crazy shenanigans, or if I spam it, doesn't feel right, but maybe if you have, really fast reflexes. There we go. Let me try with the controller. Gotta plug it in first. The beginning, You cannot watch the whole stream. Oh, you meant you couldn't watch the beginning of the stream. I missed that. Oh shit. I need more portal rooms to test out. Okay, so still, I don't know if it's because I'm spamming. Yeah, maybe just spamming is not how this game is meant to be played. I wonder. Oh shit! Wait, what the hell was that? I'm just making sure. What song is this? Raise the Roof. Plants vs. Zombies. Luminol, thank you. Okay, so those were all of our portal rooms. I'm trying to think, is this how we want to do it? Let me see one more thing. I also think, I wonder. Wait. me see something. I'm just gonna try is less than 0.5. I just want to see, like, maybe we should increase the that window. Another thing that would help us is, you know, if we do change the color palette, if we change the color of the portals so that they connect, like if they're connected. So like an import is blue, export is pink or something. That would help us. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna stick to it. Let me try this again. It's less than our duration. What was it? Our neutral state duration. I'm also thinking if we want to mess with this value here, maybe 1 second is too much. Alright, let me look at this again. If you don't spam it, like if you just play the game slowly, I think it's fine, but then if they spam it, yeah, I think there's something wrong here. I can't pinpoint it. But you know what? Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just a skill issue. Because I am able to, I'm like spamming the, I am spamming it, it feels. And I guess the main difference between this is that when you go from the dash state to the neutral state, there's like the duration of the dash. So there's like that extra, 200 milliseconds or whatever. And in the portal state, you just dash over, so there's no transition, and that's the problem. So maybe I wonder if I should maybe we should make a transition animation from portals that lasts the same duration as a dash. That would make things like consistent in terms of time. I think that's a. So yeah, like rooms like this, I'm like spamming or like. That's the problem. Maybe what we can do instead is reduce. Here, I have a better idea. Maybe. Instead of where is it? Instead of changing the state to the dash, what dash input can do instead is just half the time. So if dash input actuation is set to true, time left will be set to okay, I think I got it. I think this is a better solution. Also, I need to figure out what our dash duration is. I forgot what that is. Dash duration is equal to 0.2. So 200 milliseconds is our dash. Yeah, I should write this down. I can do it here. I think there's a description. Player dash. Equal to 0.2. neutral state, neutral duration is 0.1. Okay, we got this. So let's go back to state logic real quick. And what we'll do is if dash input teleport to. Okay, not if dash input, but if dash input actuation is equal to true. We're gonna want to say whatever this time left is, we're gonna want to half it. No, what we're gonna want to do is say, we're gonna have some if statements here. We're gonna say if, we might also want to put this in its own script, but basically if the timers.teleport duration.time left, let's put a $sign right there, is greater than, is less than or equal to 0.2, we're gonna say enter the dash state. Okay, trying to think, is this the thing that I want to do? Trying to think. Input controller dot dash duration actuation is equal to true. Yeah, let's do this. If it's greater, goddamn, I don't know. If it's greater than or equal to, if it's less than or equal to 2, we enter the dash state for sure. Elif I think there's some math that we want to do. If the time elapsed, we'll have to grab the durations of this. I'll be right back. I gotta pee. I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Okay, you dash in, you have 1 second. If you press B right away, at that 1 second. Okay, I think I got it. It's not supposed to be this. Well, it's gonna be this, but it's if our time is less than or equal to 1 minus 0.2, then we dash. And it might be 25, but we'll just figure this out. We'll figure it out as we go. Else, if it's greater than that, we're gonna want to set it to timer is greater than that. I'm just trying to think if there's another edge case that I'm not thinking of yet. So let's say it's 1.1 or like 0.9 seconds. We would have to make it 0.1 seconds left before we dashed, or cut the time in half, or cut the time. I think I got it. Time left is going to be equal to our time left. And we're going to want to make this into a variable, but we're going to say it's equal to our time left minus... wait. So if it's 0.9, let's say it's 0.9. Oh god, what the hell? Why's my brain like creating a fart right now? If it's 0.9, we need to make it 0.1, basically, in a nutshell. Oh, so would it just be time left minus time left minus 0.2? So if it's 9, it's 0.9 minus 0.7, that makes it 0.2. And then I think we want to divide this by 2. I think that's what I want to do. Do we want to divide this by 2? If it's 0.9 minus our time left minus 0.2, it's 0.9 minus 0.7 is 0.2. I think this is the solution, but let's see. So all we would do is actually just leave it the way it is and let it run its course. Because if you press the dash input, then we would go to the next one, and if exit teleport state. Oh, the only issue is I wonder if it, like, there might be... Let's just see. Let's just run it. I guess what we should do... No, I think it's fine. We also want to make sure this only happens once. So like technically if the player spams the B button, they can skip through time a lot faster, but only like 1 or 2 frames. But yeah, we'll probably fix this to check if it's already happened. If it has, we don't want this to happen more than once. Okay, so what happens if I dash faster? Ooh. We crash. Why am I getting a German dubbed ad for Barbie? I'm not German. Dude, I don't know. Everyone's been complaining about the same thing. I think you're either... I don't know if Europe is screwed over, or like, you know, if Twitch is screwed over, if my stream is screwed over. I gotta say, I know there are a lot of people who are German who watch my stream. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. Literally got that out today. I mean, we were talking about the Barbie movie. But yeah, I'm not German. Else, what's going on here? Time left. Invalid index time left on... What? Invalid index... invalid set index time left. Do we not set time left? Oh, I guess we can't set time left? I don't know. I guess we can start the timer. Like, we can say start. Invalid set index. Let's see. Left. Flow time left. Get time left. I guess you cannot set this value. Okay. Captain Stupid. Nice name. So yeah, we'd be restarting the time. Welcome. How's it going? Alright. I think so yeah, there's still that case of like if we spam it could screw us over, but who's spamming buttons? No one's spamming buttons. No one spams buttons in video games. Oh, what the hell? That's interesting. Are we in? There's a weird bug on my arm. Yeah, it seems like we're dashing early. Like it's forcing us to dash early. That's what the hell this is. If input dot dash input actuation is equal to true, we do this. Apparently, it's set to true. Dash input actuation, which doesn't make sense because I'm not pressing it, or it doesn't feel like I'm pressing it. Huh. We didn't press it there. Weird. Oh, right there. What the hell is that? Or maybe I did spam it? Dude, yeah, what the hell? Alright. Time left. Dude, what the hell is going on? Let's see. If exit teleport state. Start. Oh, I know why. I think we want to make sure that this timer stops? No. Dash input actuation. Or exit teleport state. Let me see. Exit teleport state is equal. So it works on like the, it seems like it's working on the first time around, and then second time when we die, this whole shenanigans gets just changes up. Exit teleport state is true. Is that what I wrote? Exit teleport state is true. Let's see. Yeah, we did. Okay, so exit teleport state, this variable is somehow not being set to false again. So let's see. We set it to false when. Set it to false on the enter state. Oh, wait, no. Exit teleport state we want to set to true. Geometry dash? Is this geometry dash, really? It's a bump. Electroman Adventures? to level in GD? I see. Somehow our timer might not be setting it to start. And then, wait, oh, yeah. Okay, I think I figured it out. On false, we set it to exit on, we set it to false on the enter state. Weird that it doesn't get set back to, yeah. I mean, it seems like it's only an issue when we die. Let me see. But that still doesn't make sense because, like, yeah. Alright, wait. Whoops. Oh, shit. I have to restart the game. Oh. Captain Stupid, you are my 700th follower. That's crazy. Thank you. Yeah, neato. Alright, so it's not that it's not reset. Okay, yeah, there's something else. There's something broken here. Thank you. Currently we're just trying to deal with a bug. Oh, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. I figured it out. The start timer. When we start it, I think what happens is because we're setting a new start value, it resets the value. So we need to set that value in stone. So we'll say teleport duration or something like that. Teleport. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. Has to be. So yeah, whenever we say start, we want it to be like an actual duration. Otherwise, when we run start, then when we half it, then I guess it just saves what the last one was. So let's go into duration. Teleport, orb, zipline, teleport. Teleported to, there we go. We're gonna say var teleport state duration is equal to, I think we set it to 1 second. Honestly, I feel like this is, we might want to change this value pretty soon. Let me just make sure. Teleport duration timer. Yeah, we set it to 1. So yeah, whenever we run this timer, let me just copy this. Wait, what? How's there no way something's wrong here? Teleport duration timer node. Huh. Oh, right, because it's under timers. Okay. Dot time left. Whenever we say dot start. What? There's only one time we say dot start. There's no way. Maybe we use the dot start. What the? Let me see here. Oh, we probably use the reference. Okay. So whenever we start, we're gonna say teleport duration. Teleport. Goddamn, what did we call it? Teleport state duration. Is that the only time we do it? On the enter state? Seems so. Okay. I hope this is the solution to all of our problems, because I do not want to keep. Okay. Did it work? Yes. Okay. I think that's it. Let me just make sure. So if we spam it. Yes. Wait. Sometimes it feels a little too fast. What the hell? Oh. My phone just died. Okay. Something still feels weird to me, but I'm not sure. Oh, right, because we can still technically we can still spam this. I don't know how possible it is. It doesn't even feel like it's possible. I'm spamming this button. I'm spamming the dash button as fast as possible. I feel like it's good. Something feels weird. I can't put my finger on it. There it is. Whatever that, what is going on here? Or maybe it's just my reaction times. Maybe that's fine. Wait. Yeah, it might be my reaction time. Because right now... Posture check? My posture is checked. We should do some tests, I guess, just to make sure the times are actually correct. We'll be spamming some buttons. Spamming buttons and printing stuff is probably what we want to do, just to ensure. Whoa, what is this song? Not crazy. Polka. Interesting. State teleport portal, or sorry, teleport. States teleport to. Okay. Printing the time left, actually. That should be all of our, like... Okay, so we'll say print dash input actuation, and then we're going to say... we'll say print early dash. We'll say print reduced timer. Okay. So either we get an early dash or we get a reduced timer. So boom. God damn, it's so hard to tell. Wait. Let's try this again. Dash input actuation early dash. So our timer is 0.7000092. Shouldn't this be, if that's our time? Our time is 0.00072, or sorry, 0.00092. Early dash input actuation, and then we get an early dash. Let me see the math here. Time left. If our time is less than... Right. Oh, yeah, it's less than 0.8. Right. Okay. Yeah. And we get an early dash. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I'm just... You haven't had much sleep yet. So we'll always get an early dash if we're at least 0.8 seconds. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to end this. Okay, what the hell? Why is it saying our time left is 0.0? Time left is 0.2. Our time left is 0.2 somehow. Reduced timer. Dash input actuation. What the hell? Let's try that again. So it seems like it's fine here. Right, okay. Dash input actuation. Reduced timer. Left clicking. Dash input actuation, early dash. Okay, yeah, I think it is working. What's happening now is that we're so low. We do hit 0.2 and there's like a bunch of time running right here. But then we click again and the timer gets cut in half to... Well, it doesn't get cut in half anymore, but we see that our timer is less than 1 minus whatever. 1 minus our neutral state duration. And that's what's causing that. So what we want to do now is... actually, what we could say here is instead of saying time left minus 0.02, we could say our duration, but I mean, it works the way... Yeah, we could say duration here instead. Our teleport state duration minus 0.2. But yeah, so yeah, the issue is that we don't have a variable checking for early dash, or sorry, not early dash, but reduced timer, and we should. So let's go into honestly, these values are almost negligible, but yeah, it's good to have. We're trying to make a precision platformer, and the game has to be precise. So, where is it? Teleport it right here. So we'll say var early dash. Or reduced teleport duration is equal to false. I really gotta refactor how we handle our states. It's so annoying to like scroll through all of this. If not reduced time duration. I'm just gonna say this is equal to false. Then we'll do this, and Also, this is only gonna run if I'm only gonna check this if it equal to false, and then if this does happen, we'll set this to true. I wonder if we should put this here. Yeah, we'll put it here. Fuck it. Reduce time duration is equal to false. Oh, sorry, it's equal to true. Okay. And on the exit of the teleport, we don't have to do it here because of the time is less. Wait, actually, yeah, I think we're good. And on the exit of the portal state, I'm just gonna say reduce teleport duration is equal to false. Alright, let's make sure this works. Alright, so what was that? That was an early dash. So we had 0.75 seconds. So yeah, we got an early dash. Let's spam it. Whoa. So this one, we got dash input, actuation, and it seems like our timer was set to that early time, but it didn't print it for some reason. Maybe, did we remove the print statement? Oh yeah, we did. Okay. I mean, it's obvious it worked, but just print it in case early dash. Or, sorry, reduced time. Okay, so there we go. We're at 0.93 seconds right here. And then early input, or dash input actuation, set the time to 0.2, and then actually it didn't set the time to, oh right, it doesn't set the time to 0.2, it sets it to the difference. So it, like, for whatever time has already passed, we subtract that. So it's been 0.7 seconds, or sorry, 0.07777 seconds, and that's what the timer has been set to. So yeah, great success, I think. Let's actually see if this feels good now. We did all this work just to find out it's actually not even that good of a feeling. It seems like it's good though. We'll have to, like, yeah, we'll see. I remember this room felt weird for me. So let's see. Oh yeah, this is great. I am worried though. Let's see. If you like press these buttons a little late, things might feel weird. So yeah, there's a like. Yeah, I think it's fine though. I'm getting so tired, like this is me actually try-harding right now. I'm playing like shit. This music's kind of crazy too. Don't know what's going on, but it makes me want to, like, I don't know, fight some mobs right now. So, oh, you know, the same timer that we have on our dash should be, on our dash from the bounce state is the same exact one that I want to have on every state. And I hope I'm hoping that the past me was intelligent enough to use that same timer, so everything is everything has like this 0.2 second window. I'm hoping that's the same value I gave our bounce. 'Cause if not, I mean it plays fine, but like I would like for there to be like some great consistency in just our entire game. And let's see. So this is from the bounce state. Dash. Can dash and bounce is the value that we created. Can dash and bounce. Set to false. Can dash and bounce timer timeout. Let's see. It actually might be 0.1 seconds. It is 0.1 seconds. Honestly, it's not too bad. It makes me it makes me think maybe. The thing is, the difference between portals and the dash state is that like making it 0.1 seconds could be kind of iffy. You can try it. I might not even notice the difference. I think we're gonna keep it. Honestly, I think we're gonna keep it the way it is. 0.2 seconds seems like a good time. Because that's literally our dash duration. But I'm gonna try it out anyway. For funsies. Where is it? What? Brain. What are we trying to do again? Right. Dash. State logic. Right here. So right now we set it. We should actually just set this to. No, yeah, we'll say 0.1, and we'll set this to 0.1. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick to 0.2, 0.1, or actually maybe not. Maybe I kind of like the speed. Let me see. Will Airways, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Oh. Reggie. Also, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're gonna make it 0.2. 0.2 is it's just consistent with the rest of the game. And because in order for you to activate a portal, you have to dash through it, so it's consistent with that, like you have to experience a full dash. But there is something that is inconsistent, I guess, and that's you're not always gonna dash into a portal from this large distance. So it's like maybe 0.1 maybe 0.1 seconds is the solution. Now that I'm thinking about it, because then that's our neutral state. I mean, another thing that we can do is check how long it took before we got into this portal, and that could be another factor. But I don't think I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think 0.2 seconds is good, and it also just, I mean, it's better than what it was before. The initial bounce, like you can see, is an entire second. So 0.2, we're literally 5 times faster now. So we'll call it there. How long have you been doing game dev? I've been doing game dev for, I guess officially, like with Godot and everything, 3 years. Maybe actually a little bit more than 3 years at this point. Let me think. Yeah, I would say 3 years. 3 years. This game is a 2.5 year project. I wonder, does dash input work on this with the mouse? That does, okay. Shit. Oh my god, I suck with the mouse. My reflexes are just not there anymore. Also, this room is slightly different now, so like, yeah, yeah, something's wrong. Wait, what? Did I couldn't tell. Did I press it? I think I did. Shit. Okay. This room is this is our testing room. Well, yeah, we finished. Okay, so we got a lot done today. We got this working, the new pressure plate bounce things. We got the new portal system working. It took way more time than I was initially expecting, but at least we got it done. What's left for us to do? I think I should do some level design, but I feel like I should just save that for the next stream because I want to do some level design with this new mechanic, at least for people to test out, see how it plays for people, and then yeah, that's what we'll do. So next stream will be a level design, strictly level design, I think. I'm trying to think, do we have any? See if we have anything else left to do. Hiccups. Dash out of portal. Cool. Double dash. I was thinking of this being a cool mechanic, a double dash or zip line thing. I don't know how I would do it yet, but it's an idea. I don't know, yeah, because like I really don't like the spinning orb mechanic, or I think it could be better. And I'm thinking we could do something where like, I don't know, maybe like I don't know, like you dash into something. Here's the orb. And then it does like zigzag. We kind of already have that. Another idea is like how the spinning works now is like you go in a spiral. You go like this, and then the second you let go, it shoots you out. What we could do is maybe you go into this octagon. It's an octagon. And then from there, you shoot into this direction. But then from here, you go into a bigger octagon. And it's like boom, 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 boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so it's more sharp, and the entire duration from here, like each of these lines basically means that it's a full dash. Like you would go into this full direction. So yeah, this entire duration you would be going in here. This entire duration you would be going here. I think that's a cool idea. I don't know if we're gonna stick with it, but we got to figure out something, because I'm trying to think if we could come up with another mechanic too. Let's see. Another idea. You dash in to an orb or some sort of mechanic. And it resets you over here, and then you dash. Or maybe boom. Almost like a portal. What if you dash here? Here's the circle. Comes out another circle, and you dash out. It's very similar to a portal, but like slightly different. Boom, boom. I don't know. Maybe we should leave it. Maybe I'll figure out another day. Yeah, let's do this later. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. This stream was a little shorter, but maybe we'll make up for it later, because yeah, we got a lot done and we have a lot to do in the next stream. So yeah, call it there. I might do some stuff off stream too. A raid before Zing. He's a fellow Godot dev as well. He's working on a life sim, I believe is what he calls it. Life sim RPG. Alrighty, fellas. Until next time. Peace. Oh, and if anybody wants to wishlist the game, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps with the algorithm and all that. And here is my Discord too. Yeah, I post all updates and stuff like that there. Alright, bye now.
Here, but fewer